Hello everyone, I'm Owen Hemsley and welcome to our 5 reviews. Today I will be reviewing the game Half-Life. Half-Life is a science fiction action game developed by Valve, and this was the company's debut game. It was first released in 1998 for PC, but was also released for PlayStation 2, and Mac and Linux. I will be reviewing the original PC version. The player takes the role of Dr. Gordon Freeman, who works as a theoretical physicist who works in an underground research facility called Black Mesa. An experiment into teleportation technology goes wrong and it opens up a rift to another dimension. Therefore you have to fight your way past incoming alien species and the military who have come to cover things up, so to cover up the incident. Valve originally found it difficult to find a publisher for this game. The main reason being that back then they thought that this game was too ambitious. A bit like this channel. A company called Sierra Online eventually signed the game after expressing interest in a 3D action game. The game runs on an engine called GoldSrc, which is basically a very modified version of the engine Quake runs on, the original Quake. Well, onto the review. How good are the controls? Well, this is my least favourite thing about this game. There are quite a lot of problems with the controls, to be honest. First of all, the movement controls are too sensitive, which take a lot of time to get used to. And considering this is a game where there are lots of small ledges and accurate jumps that are needed and stuff like that, this can become very difficult and you usually end up plummeting to your death. I'm gonna make it! I'm gonna make it! Go! There is a control glitch in the original version of this game, where every now and then when you go down in an escalator and the game loads, it stops the player from actually being able to move. They can only look around, which forces the player to either kill themselves or reload the game. Not being able to move is really elevating my stress patterns. Get it? Elevated. Another point is, like a lot of first-person shooter games, it can be very hard to actually go down ladders, and I often instead just fell to my death. On a more positive note, the actual action controls, such as shooting, are very good and very responsive, so that's a good point. Next up, the challenge level. How hard is this game? Well, at the beginning of the game, you are given a choice to play the game either on easy, medium or hard. I like a challenge in a game, so I was very pleased to see that even on the easy setting, this game still had challenging sections. But considering I'm mentally challenged, this doesn't really count. Because even though the combat was easier, there are still sections which require movement skill or brain power. For example, there is a section which requires you to jump across storage crates which are suspended in the air. As this is relatively early on in the game, before the user has got fully used to the controls yet, this can take multiple retries to complete. I've completed this game on hard difficulty, which I'm quite proud of, and even though I had countless deaths, this game was still fair. Therefore, all of the difficulty settings had been made challenging, but they were still fair. Next up, most importantly, how fun is this game? No matter what I say next, at least it will be better than Superman 64. What a pile of sh**. Even though this game came out in 1998, it is still extremely fun. Even though this game has a very linear storyline, it's still fun to replay it. I'm not quite sure what it is, but the atmosphere in this game is amazing. It's not necessarily scary, even though it has monsters and creatures in it. But the setting seems believable, and because most of the game takes place in one building, albeit a very large building, it creates tension and a feeling of claustrophobia. There is also the fact that this game takes place not just on Earth, but also on an alien planet called Zen. I won't say too much about this planet, otherwise it'll ruin the game for anyone who somehow hasn't already played this. But trust me, it's amazing for a game of this age. A lot of imagination's gone into this game, because there's the different breeds of creatures, the surprisingly deep storyline, like if you read it up on Wikipedia or something, the storyline's a lot deeper than you think it is. And then there's the actual setting of Black Mesa itself. All of these things combined actually made me to want to believe that the events in this game actually happened. There is also the way the game builds up, which I love. For example, like the beginning of the game is like a normal day of work for Dr. Freeman, and you can talk to your employees and walk around the building as normal. Also, the player doesn't get a weapon until the 3rd chapter, if you include the introduction chapter. This build-up means that when you get to the big action sequences, trust me, there are very big action sequences, they actually mean something and actually make it tense for the player, because they're not just shooting things over and over again. This game is therefore a lot better and very different to Call of Duty. Let me sum this up for you. Call of Duty Chapter 1. Bang, bang, bang. Chapter 2. Bang, bang, bang. Chapter 3. Bang, bang. Oh hell no! It's near the end of the video! So in conclusion, apart from a lot of control problems, which have been fixed in like later versions of the games, like on the PS2 version, everything about this game is good. The original PC version also comes with a few different multiplayer modes, for example, Team Deathmatch. But in order for the servers to be open, you'll have to obviously get an updated version, for example from Steam. The intense action, the storyline, the imagination which has gone into it, and the challenge of it are all perfect. So this makes up for the controls, really. This game is still amazing after all these years, and I think it always will be. Therefore I give this game 9 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to share, subscribe or like this video. If you have any ideas for games to review or have further questions about this video, please comment below, as I'll happily take views into account. Next video will be about Team Fortress 2, which was suggested by a channel called Tiki Plays. So I'll be reviewing that next time. Thanks for watching and see you later. Duh.